What if the problem isn't that they don't love you, but that they don't even love themselves? In this video, we'll uncover the emotional walls, fears, and insecurities that make them push you away, and how understanding this can free you to choose love for yourself over chasing someone else's growth. When someone doesn't love themselves, they instinctively build walls, not just to keep others out, but also to protect themselves from facing the pain of their own insecurities. You might think their distance or rejection is about you, but it's not. It's a reflection of their inability to see themselves as worthy of love. Imagine this: they've grown so accustomed to their own internal chaos that peace and genuine affection feel unsettling. They can't trust it. They can't embrace it because it doesn't align with how they see themselves. Now, let's talk about the behavior this creates. One of the most telling patterns is the push-pull dynamic. You may notice that when you start to back off, they immediately seek you out. They might send a message, call, or suddenly show an interest that wasn't there before. Why? Because they don't want to lose the comfort of knowing you're there. Your love, your presence, provides them with a sense of security. But the moment you return that affection fully, they withdraw again. It's not because they've stopped caring, but because the intimacy and vulnerability that come with your love feel overwhelming. They're caught in a cycle of craving connection, but fearing what it means to truly open up. This back and forth can be exhausting for you. You might find yourself questioning your worth, wondering if you're doing something wrong or if you need to try harder. Let me stop you right there. This isn't your fault. Their behavior is rooted in their own struggles, and no amount of love from you can fix what's broken within them. You can't love someone into healing. What's important to understand is that their inability to accept love stems from fear. Fear of being seen, fear of being vulnerable, and ultimately fear of being hurt. They might think, what if I let you in and you see the parts of me that I can't even accept? What if you leave once you realize I'm not enough? These fears aren't rational, but they're powerful, and they dictate their actions. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? Watching someone you care for struggle with their own demons while you stand there, ready to love them unconditionally. You might feel compelled to help them see their worth, to show them that your love is genuine and safe. But here's the hard truth. You can't force someone to love themselves. You can't do the work for them. You can only offer love and support, but the journey of self-discovery and healing is one they have to take on their own. This brings us to an essential point. You cannot save them. It's tempting to think that if you love them enough, they'll finally see how incredible they are. You may believe that your love can fill the void they feel inside, but love isn't a magic cure. Their self-worth can't come from you. It has to come from within. You might end up exhausting yourself, pouring every ounce of your energy into fixing someone who isn't ready or willing to be fixed. And in doing so, you risk losing yourself in the process. Let's not sugarcoat it. Walking away from someone who isn't ready to receive your love is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. But it's also one of the most empowering, because choosing to let go isn't about giving up on them. It's about prioritizing your own well-being. It's about recognizing that you deserve a love that's reciprocal, a love that doesn't drain you or make you question your value. Now, here's where your growth comes into play. When you encounter someone who isn't emotionally available, it's not just a test of their readiness, it's a mirror reflecting your own progress. A few years ago, you might have stayed, hoping to prove your worth or change their mind. But now you're in a different place. You can see the signs, acknowledge the situation for what it is, and choose to walk away with your dignity intact. That's growth. That's self-love in action. Being able to recognize their emotional unavailability is a sign of how much you've grown. It shows that you've learned to set boundaries and prioritize your own needs. You've come to understand that love isn't about fixing someone else. It's about finding someone who complements your journey, someone who meets you where you are. This awareness doesn't make the pain of letting go any less real, but it does make it easier to navigate. And let's be clear, just because someone isn't ready to love you the way you deserve, doesn't mean they're a bad person. They're not intentionally trying to hurt you. They're simply stuck in their own struggles. grappling with fears and insecurities they may not even fully understand. It's okay to feel empathy for them, but it's also okay to put yourself first. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't build a healthy relationship on a foundation of emotional instability. Choosing yourself in these situations isn't just about walking away. It's about honoring the work you've done to get to this point. It's about saying, "I deserve more than this," and believing it. It's about recognizing that your worth isn't determined by whether or not someone else sees it. You know your value, and you're not willing to compromise it for a love that isn't whole. When you reach this level of clarity, something powerful happens. You stop blaming yourself for their inability to love you the way you deserve. You stop replaying every interaction in your mind, wondering if you could have done something differently. Instead, you accept the reality for what it is. They're not ready, and that's okay. It doesn't make you any less deserving of love. In fact, it reinforces the idea that you're worthy of a love that's mutual, balanced, and whole. This understanding doesn't mean you won't feel the sting of rejection. Let's be real. Letting go of someone you care about hurts. There's no way around that. But pain is a part of growth. It's a sign that you're moving forward, that you're shedding old patterns and making room for something better. It's okay to grieve the loss of what could have been. It's okay to feel sadness, frustration, and even anger. These emotions are valid, and they're a natural part of the healing process. What's important is not letting those emotions define you. You are more than the pain you feel. You are more than the heartbreak you've endured. And as you work through these feelings, you'll start to see the strength and resilience that lie beneath them. You'll realize that every tear, every moment of doubt is shaping you into someone who is even more capable of giving and receiving love. Now, let's talk about the big picture. When you let go of someone who isn't ready to love you, you're not just walking away from a relationship, you're walking toward a better version of yourself. You're choosing to break free from the cycle of chasing validation and start creating a life that aligns with your worth. You're saying, "I deserve more," and that decision sets the tone for every relationship you'll have moving forward. This isn't about being perfect or never making mistakes. It's about progress. It's about recognizing your patterns, learning from them, and doing better. And when you do better, you attract better. You attract people who are on the same wavelength, who are ready to meet you where you are and grow alongside you. Let's also address the fear of being alone. It's natural to worry that if you let go, you might not find someone else. But here's the truth: being alone is better than being in a relationship that drains you. When you're alone, you have the opportunity to focus on yourself, to nurture your passions, and to build a life that feels fulfilling on its own. And when you're truly content with yourself, you become magnetic to the kind of love you deserve. Remember, self-love isn't just a concept, it's a practice. It's choosing to walk away from situations that don't serve you, even when it's hard. It's setting boundaries and sticking to them. It's treating yourself with the same kindness and respect you'd offer to someone you love. And most importantly, it's believing that you are enough, just as you are. As you navigate these moments, remind yourself that you're not alone. So many people have faced similar struggles, and they've come out stronger on the other side. Every step you take toward valuing yourself sets an example for others to do the same. You're not just healing for yourself, you're contributing to a culture of love and self-respect that has the power to change lives. And finally, let's end with this. Love is out there. Real, reciprocal, transformative love. But it starts with you. It starts with choosing yourself every single day. So let go of what isn't meant for you, trust the process, and know that the best is yet to come.